How do you measure the true cost of somebody's presence in your life? When was the last time you walked away from a conversation actually feeling a little bit light? And if time, energy, and values are precious currencies, who in your life is helping you invest? And what, as well as who, is making that all go 100% bankrupt?
The Voices of Victory podcast show.
Voices of Victory.
Vision.
Voices of Victory.
Leadership.
Voices of Victory.
Workplace-related topics.
The Voices of Victory.
Voices of Victory. Voices of Victory. Voices of Victory.
It's time for the show. You are now listening to the Voices of Victory podcast show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mario D. Leone.
And welcome back to the Voices of Victory podcast show. I am your host, Mario D. Leone, and today we're going to get right down to it. Today's episode is, what is the cost of people and things that steal your value? Here's what I want to bring to the table today. Not every single cost can be counted in money or dollars or credit. Some costs are literally measured in the peace of mind that you give to it. Some costs are measured in your attention span and how your attention span is constantly being hijacked. Some costs are measured in energy. Some costs will be measured in time that you'll never be able to get back. Some costs will literally show up as the values you compromise, the promises you actually break to yourself, and the promises that you break to other people. And when it comes down to the values you compromise just to keep someone else or just to stay in an unhappy relationship, what is it actually costing you? Mentally, emotionally, energetically, what is it costing you? And that brings us over to the next step, energy drain. Some people leave you completely drained after every interaction. And it's not loud, obnoxious, or even obvious. Sometimes it's very subtle, and sometimes it's soft, but sometimes it's also consistent. It's like a leaky faucet. You don't notice it until the bucket in the kitchen is totally full. And you don't notice your own cost until your own energy is completely empty. So ask yourself seriously, are you adding to your strength or quietly just bleeding it all away? Is your energy, your time, your relationships, your mental peace, all of these things, the things that actually are meaningful? Now, I'm going to be discussing today all of the things that actually bring meaning to life, because there is a cost. And some people have heard of the concept of the sunk cost fallacy. Well, it's like, oh, I invested so many years into this one relationship, and then bam, it's all gone, right? And there's a cost there. But what did it cost you? And this brings us over to the time drain. Time is the most unforgiving of them all costs, and I can tell you that. Every moment that you spend with somebody who pulls you away from your purpose, it's not a matter of whether or not you spend time with somebody. It's whether it becomes a time drain, where they're draining you. They're pulling away from all the meaningful and purposeful things that you could be doing. It's a moment that's stolen. It gets stolen from what truly matters. And the cost here is not just hours lost. It could be your inner peace. It could be your resilience. It could be a lot of things. It could be direction, that you lose direction. Because quite honestly, when we get rid of all the fluff, all of the hype of the world, all of the fakeness of the world, all of the externals, the house, the car, the microwave, all of those material things, all that flex culture, when we get away from all of that, right? When we fall into the trap of flex culture and all these external chasings, these external trappings, the direction becomes lost. You lose direction. The more you attach yourself to, let's say, flex culture or external chasings, you're chasing the house, the car, the microwave, chasing the relationship, chasing all of those things, you start to lose direction. You lose your own direction. And sometimes you have to swing back. Like, it's one of those things where it's like a pendulum. It goes one way and it has to swing back the other way. And quite honestly, if you're constantly being pulled away from those purposeful things, you've got to ask yourself the question, what is this actually costing? And that brings us over to the value drain. The deepest cost is when someone actually pulls you away from your values. They pull you away from your honesty. They pull you away from your integrity. They actually take you away from your integrity. Maybe you've outsourced your self-esteem in some way. Maybe you've given too much to somebody who really didn't value or deserve it. And what happens is when you start to bend who you are just to keep the peace, or bend who you are just to kind of keep a relationship going that is actually just more draining than anything, when you sacrifice that integrity and for comfort, for the chase, the question isn't whether they're good or bad. Are they a good person or are they a bad person? No. What is the cost of keeping them so close in your life? Like, what are you losing? Are you losing your peace? Are you losing your wallet? Are you losing time? Are you losing your own integrity, your own values? Are you losing your self-esteem? What's the cost of it? What is it costing you? What is the cost of keeping them in your life? What is the cost of keeping them close? You got to ask yourself that. And here's what I want to bring to the table and close with. I want to be able to close with something today that's going to be meaningful. I want to close with something very meaningful, and it's going to be serious. I'm going to lay it down pretty fucking hard. And you might not like what I have to say, but the truth is something that people tend to ignore because they want to rationalize their own comfort. And here's what I want to tell you. And this is my birthday was a few days ago. And at 53, you start to wake up and look at life completely different than you did when you were 23 or 33. Here's what actually matters. Your health and vitality actually matters. Having that energy and having that freedom matters. Ask yourself, what's costing you your health? What's costing you your vitality? Relationships do indeed matter. And love and authenticity actually do matter. But if you're outsourcing your self-worth, or if it's costing you your identity and costing you who you are, if you're losing bits and pieces of who you are because you've over-sacrificed or you fell into martyrdom syndrome, then ask yourself the question, what is it actually costing you? When it comes to purpose, purpose is beautiful. Purpose is that legacy we're going to wind up leaving behind at some point in our life. At some point in your life, you might want to consider what you want it to say on your tombstone as to what your words would be. Now, it's not to be morose or depressed. It's the solid question of what you want to leave behind. Because guess what? There's never, ever, ever a U-Haul behind a hearse. Absolutely not. So you can't take it with you, but that's the whole point of a fucking legacy, right? Like, that's the raw truth. You could always leave it for the next generation. And quite honestly, what they do with it is really not up to you at that point. You'll hope that they'll make the right decision. But outside of legacy, there's also alignment, purpose, alignment. Being in alignment with the good feeling you get for what you do. See, purpose is not mechanical, robotic. Purpose is the good feeling you get from what you do. And purpose will change many times throughout your entire life. And when it comes to purpose, being in alignment, you get that inner vibe, that inner understanding of, yes, this is where I shine and this is where I shine the best. And you shine bright. And sometimes when you shine bright, it casts shadows. The more bright you shine, the more it will create friction in other people's shadows. But it's not up to you for that. You can only do so much. People act from their own reality and framework at the end of the day. And the next part is contribution. So when it comes to contribution, what is it? If you're trying to contribute to a cause or contribute to giving somebody guidance or trying to help somebody out, if there's things that are costing you, stopping you from contributing, stopping you from giving, or stopping you from giving guidance, you have to look at that. You have to ask yourself, what is this costing me? If something's costing you your legacy and it's costing you your purpose, that's a big one. That's a big thing to look at. Is it costing you your inner peace? Is it stopping you from letting go? Is it stopping you from being present? Is it costing you your joy? Is it costing you your play? The ability to have fun, be a kid again, the laughter, the creativity. Is it costing you those? Are you in a relationship that it's costing you? Or are you in a situation where it's draining that? And the worst one of them all, and I'm going to leave this is the last one. This is the sword stabbing into the dying person. In terms of time, what is it costing you? To a 16-year-old that's healthy, you have all the time in the world. To a 16-year-old that's unhealthy and maybe dying, you're running out of time. Time is all you got. If it's costing you time, if it's costing you your choices, because you can choose how you use that time, if it's costing you that, you need to consider that. Because with time, it's a choice. You have the choice to squander it or the choice to savor it. Now, this is not about being cold, but relationships are a part of it. It's not about being transactional. It's about being honest. When we say cost, we're looking at a non-monetary aspect. This is about being honest that every relationship can cost you your peace, cost you your emotions, cost you your values, cost you your integrity. And the truest wisdom is really knowing which things are worth putting your energy into, because if it leaves you bankrupt in your spirit, bankrupt in your heart, bankrupt in your mind, then you may want to reconsider. You take the good with the bad in relationships, don't get me wrong, but when the bad starts overriding the good, if we were to look at good and bad as 50%, 50%, when the bad starts getting to 90, 95, you may want to consider, what is this literally costing me emotionally? What is it costing me mentally? What is it costing me in terms of my values? Because not everything is just measured in financial aspect. Ask yourself at the end of the day, repeatedly, what's this going to cost me? Because at some point, somewhere, somehow, it will cost you something. And whether it's your self-esteem, your mental peace, or your purpose, you need to reconsider that choice, because time is all we have left. And that's all I'm going to say. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this. Share this with somebody who needs it, regardless of who they are, regardless of what age.